check, check. Welcome in, everybody. How's everybody doing? Hopefully the weekend is going good for you. Myself, it's been super busy, but glad to be here for sure. Tesla, Nvidia, Starbucks. Ooh, I like that one. It's going good, Ninja. Good to have you in here, man. Yeah, Starbucks had a good couple days last week. Big old breakout. We can definitely take a look at that. We'll give it a couple minutes like usual. Let people trickle in here. Sometimes it's a small group for me, sometimes not. We shall see, but we'll go over SPY, QQQ, and then I'm going to hit the names that you guys want to go over for sure. I don't want to spend too much time on stuff I'm looking at. I want to make the lecture for you guys, but I will go over a few things. A couple big tech names. Netflix, probably top of my list for big tech. Maybe AMD as well. But yeah, MU as well. All right. Write these down in case some more come in. Some of the charts you'll see look not similar, but similar moves, similar thesis. But we can definitely go over the ones you want. Hopefully there's some interesting setups for sure, you guys. But I'm seeing Netflix, Oxy, OXY, energy and financial sector, and PayPal's kind of stand out to me. Yeah, Dalvin, yeah, BAC and C, Citibank, I think it is. Interesting on the daily for sure when we get there. But and obviously with the rate cut coming, or assumed rate cut this week, got to imagine banks, everything's probably going to react pretty well, especially, we're expecting the cut, but when we see it and how much, that'll be the sign of how much the market reacts to it. Give one more minute, guys, but yeah, I guess just some info right now. I guess with data on Friday really kind of flipped this script, because now it's a 50-50 shot. I mean, right down the line, whether we get a quarter point or a half basis point cut on, I think it's Wednesday the meeting is. So this will be interesting. A lot of people are saying, or what I'm reading at least, that they don't need to do a 50. And if they do, maybe it signals headwinds ahead, but I'm not really in that camp that, I don't think there's stuff to worry about. But we'll see if we get a 25 or a 50, but it's right down the middle. I think we have some data on tomorrow as well, retail sales maybe, so this might affect it a little bit as well. But right now, that's the thing to watch. And one more other quick thing in the Fed. This is, generally speaking, of the 14 rate hike cycles since 1929, 12 of them saw positive S&P returns for the 12 months following. So we could see a red day or red week this week, but the 12 months following, again, every scenario is different, guys. This was probably the .com bubble burst or whatever. This was the housing financial. So everything is different, but just something to watch. We'll see if history repeats itself and if we have a good 12 months, plus we have elections. So I think that is, I guess, what you call part two of the equation. We're not just cutting rates, we got election cycles. If you listen to Tilio's newsletter, he kind of touched on it, whether you like Trump or not, or Harris or not, their policies, some of them are very vastly different, as far as, capital gains tax and all that stuff. So that can vary a lot. So anyways, guys, enough rambling. I'm glad to have you guys here. The guys that are here, hopefully get something out of this lecture. It will be recorded if you got to leave early or that football game starts or whatever it is. But glad to have you here. I'm going to write down PLTR as well. All right, guys, start the SPY S&P daily right here. Obviously, we pushed up. We had some hard bounces last week. And when I see, and what I want to point out to you guys, obviously we're near this all-time high zone. I mean, we closed very, very close. We closed, 0.5%, give or take, 0.6% from all-time highs. Tiny baby little trend line overhead, if you can call it that. It's pretty much flat on top. But just know, on the daily, when you guys are trying to play the breakouts, when you guys are trying to play, quick moves, stuff like that, just take note, of stuff like this as we come into here. We see a wick here, big rejection down. We see a push up, big rejection, a close, an ultimate sell. And so, not tomorrow, this week, if we come into here up to the shaded area, I'm not saying just short it, but just be mindful if you miss this move up from 562, now you're diving in at 564, maybe you missed the move, and maybe you should see if we break out, push more. Don't miss this move up here. This is the daily, these are daily candlesticks. If you miss the move up tomorrow, say we push up, don't just chase and get FOMO up here and then see a big old rejection like this on the daily, and you get cooked your first entry, your first entry of the week, first entry of the day, whatever it is. And so always just be mindful of where you guys are at on the chart, you guys. I can go in more depth about it or with it. If you'd like, we can zoom in on some closer charts. I'm going to go over QQQ real quick. and then we'll kind of zoom in a little bit. But you see where I at again on SPY, QQQ, that's big tech. And look at where we close, you guys. To me, like I always say, where do we close? Where do we reject? It makes sense. 475.56-ish. You can see, when we reject under, the selling pressure underneath that. When we give up this level and trend line, the selling pressure. Well, now QQQ is very interesting. So I don't know what's going to happen this week before Wednesday, but what I suspect is they will push us up. So I'm zoomed in now, guys. I think they're going to push us up and keep us here at this level. I think, I could be wrong. Maybe we reject for 2 days and then come Wednesday. But I'm thinking on the Qs, we kind of push up into this pocket here and we do a little bit of consolidation, maybe some range days tomorrow and Tuesday. Again, maybe we trend and I'm wrong, but I think they pin it here for this big level. And if buyers want to buy it, that's the spot they'll probably explode over, is this 475.56. So tomorrow, say we push up, say we gap up a little bit. 1 second. So 475.56 zone here. I'm now on the 15-minute chart above and the 1 hour below, you guys, just for a zoomed in look or thesis or game plan. So for me, any push over this or any gap over this, I'm playing this as a support, and I think you guys should too, because it's an easy stop out or fairly easy stop out for me. What I see, but 475.56 again. Any trickle up here and rejections like the first hour, I'm going to be thinking, hey, I'm going to be looking for some weakness and some big tech names, and I'll short this here. I won't be afraid to short this because I know when we're on that daily, that big zone there on Qs. But again, push, breakout, retest. We always say breakout, retest. Don't chase the breakout. But if we gap up and dip down, or we push up through this in the morning and then dip down, that's where you buy your dips. You don't want to buy the breakout candle of a bullish candle, and then the next hourly candle, you get this for the next hour. You don't want that. And so you play the back test of old levels. And so, a bit of a zoomed in look here from Friday, push up, play the retest. If we sell through it, just stop out and accept the loss. Fitness and futures weekly bullish and go. Was that Spire QQs? I'm sorry, I'm a little bit delayed. We can look over it though. Let me go back on a weekly. You said, let's see, QQQ. Oops, full screen. Weekly, yeah, I'd say that gobbled it up pretty well. I mean, we're right back. We had that, selling pressure. What was the first week of September? I was out of the markets, but I checked in a little bit. We pretty much just gobbled that back up, and we're back up like nothing ever happened. We get that a lot. We get this fear, and these big buybacks. And another thing I guess I should have noted, you guys, on SPY and QQQ as well, when you guys zoom out on the daily and, Friday, Thursday, Wednesday, this big candle here, like when you see a buyback on that day, we close out the day and maybe reviewed some trades. Hopefully you guys do. When you see a huge wick like this means buyers are parked here. Buyers are ready. They've been ready. Like, note that level, 451. That is a huge level. I am not a put buyer at 451 at all on Qs. If we come back down there this week or later this month, note that level. When you see a huge reaction like this, because the day started here, if you know anything about candlesticks, they opened here. We sold down, we bounced, and we closed all the way up here. So we came down from 460 to 451, a $9 move. But this is that huge day from the bottom. 451, we closed at, we'll just say 468. That's a huge move, you guys. So when you start seeing big reactions, even on the top side, if you're trading and you see stuff like this, that big level here, that's why, you guys, that's why this level is important to me, because we closed right at it. Those computers are smart. When you see candles like this, you mark those levels because that's a big rejection. We opened here, we tried to push up and we closed it down. That's a big rejection right there. And so that's something to watch right there. But yeah, I'm gonna start looking over some of the stuff you guys got because this lecture always goes quick. So again, you guys, if you're on your phone or the laptop, iPad, whatever, 15-minute chart. They're synced, so 15 at the top, 1 hour on the bottom, because I think that's the kind of sweet spot to build a game plan. Ninja, are you in Tesla, Nvidia, or Starbucks, or just kind of want my thoughts on it, my thesis? Let me know in the chat, brother, if you're in, if you want help with price targets, or if you're just looking at it. But Tesla, definitely had some nice moves down here, you guys. And so you guys that don't know, and if these two charts are too crammed, let me know, you guys. I'll just go back to one screen. I know everybody does it different. But Tesla sold down to this big level. It's 210.60. 210.60, big level here, bounce. And for on my charts, you guys, this is this purple dashed line is the 9 moving average on the daily. I'm able to see it intraday, but that's where it's at on the daily. And the green is the 20. So all you guys that like catching swings and the big multi-day moves, that's how you do it. When we sell down, we bounce, and we open up over these moving averages, and they're underneath us, and they start curling like this. That's when you take, and that's when you get those multi-day swings, or when you're able to, stuff like that. So for me, Tesla, I mean, the obvious answer right here, 232.66-ish. You know, it's a wide area, whitish area. But you see on September 6th, pre-market push up, maybe right at the open, big rejection. Okay, Friday, now up here on the 15, up here, guys, push up, big rejection. Again, same level. So you guys already probably know my thesis here. So if we come in, we trickle in here like this, maybe we push up hard, and you catch the opening trade with flips or whoever, or maybe by yourself, and you take profits to here. I'm selling here for sure. It's Monday morning, first trade of the day, first trade at the open. You catch from 230 to 233 or whatever we said this was. You catch a $3 move on Tesla. That's going to pay you huge. And so you don't, take 5 calls and they're up, let's just say 80%, and you don't trim because you're an idiot. We got this zone here that rejected. We got this rejected. We got this rejected. Again, you guys, sell where the chart tells you, not the percent, not the money because you want to post it gains tab. I don't care about that. Sell where the chart tells you to. And so again, trend is still intact. For me, I'm not short on Tesla until we start getting up here and we see some big rejections and a bounce, big reject. Then I'll short it up here. 232.67, 232.6-ish. And you could even argue you can draw something like this to kind of help you figure it out. You can draw a shade area like this. Just call us supply or rejection zone, whatever you think. But to me, hopefully we got one more bullish day at least out of Tesla tomorrow, maybe Tuesday. But I'm looking for that push into there. On the downside, if we open kind of under this little pivot, this blue area here, if we open under, so now we don't want to be married to a trade. We're just going to build a plan both ways. So for me, if we open down here and we kind of trickle into this zone here, I'm not just going to instantly take puts, but I'm watching the reaction there. And so if we open under it and we fail breakout, come up or come down, fail breakout, I'm looking to short here because we have this rejection pocket here, and then back here from a couple weeks ago. And so Tesla can go both ways. For me, I want to be a bull first, but if the markets are weak tomorrow for whatever reason, or Tuesday, and we're coming under the zone here, I'm taking shorts here at, just call it 230 for quickness on charts. Okay, so that gives us a little bit of, a little bit of a pocket to play with on Tesla. I'm just going to go in order that I see them. Nvidia. Look where Nvidia closed, you guys. It's no accident. Again, this green line is the daily. So if I go watch this green line here, guys, it's the 20-day moving average. If I go the daily, that green line, see that? So I'm able to look at it intraday and know where my lines are. So Nvidia closed right at it. Okay, closed right at it. That's a hint. Same thing. Nvidia is a fairly easy trade tomorrow, but we open somewhere around here because this green line is going to open right like this. It's going to be flat because of the way this closed here and here. So we open here. I'm taking calls on that bounce. 118.76, we'll just call it 119 for a round number. That's going to be the 20-day moving average. So again, when you want to catch those long swings and you're grabbing puts here and you're like, man, why did that bounce so hard? because it's a moving average. People are buying in there. Follow momentum, follow what other people are doing. Okay, so this NVIDIA, you guys, fairly easy trade. But again, on the flip side, so this line's going to extend out here. And if we do one of these moves here tomorrow morning, yeah, we may get a breakout, but this is what I'm looking to short and only to short if it does this. So if we open down around here, we kind of repeat this thing and we push up, we get these big rejections on the hourly, and the rest of the market's looking weak and we get some flow comes in or some selling pressure, that's a safe spot to go short at 119 because, if we push over, your stop is small. Okay, your stop can be, we can figure it out here. For me, like if I took it right at 119, 119.28, 119.3. So you're risking 28 cents on the stock upside move for potentially, all this down here. So we talk about risk to reward, you guys. So you're risking this small shaded area and your reward, I'm not saying you get it one day, but you got this because this is last week's price action. So in terms of volume, there's not a volume. There's volume here, yes, but from last week's price action, there's not a lot here. There's this big move, there's consolidation. So if we sell down through under 117, this could come quick. Okay. But again, doesn't mean just take, blind puts and just hold. Obviously, there's going to be volume coming up here because you have this zone here, and it relates to this zone here on September 3rd. So for me, NVIDIA is a nice trade, a fairly easy trade, and to zoom out and even get a bigger picture. So, okay, we bounce off the 20, where do we sell? Okay, you see this 123 zone, not saying you get it one day, that's a big, $5 move, but you get that move there, we know what this 123 does, you guys. And I think that's, this is all-time high up here. So we push in this 123, I can tell you for sure, like if I miss this move or we gap up huge, I'm not buying calls at 123. I'm waiting for a back test to potentially break out. But I'm not chasing calls at 123. If I catch this bottom, we trend all day, I'm for sure 100% all out at 123 and I'll reposition. Would an NVIDIA 117 put be a good play if there's rejection? Yep, I'm a little late on the response. Sorry about that. But yeah, that'd be my game plan here, Chen. So we're on the 15-minute up here on the top. So yeah, for me, I'm just watching this price action up here. I'm watching this price action around, 119 is a round number, so we got kind of this thing going on intraday too. So who knows where we open pre-market, maybe above, maybe below, but like a nice little zone here, so always check the chart on a longer time frame, a larger time frame, know where you're at, and don't just dive into puts at a big support, or don't dive into calls at a big resistance there. Just know where you're at, build a plan. And literally for me, like if I were to do this, say we gap up here or say pre-market we're up here, I literally, guys, you should do this too. You literally just set an alert. Boom, and you wait for it to trigger. Because, as you can see, I trade on just one computer screen and I have different charts open, but I can't watch everything all the time. And so just set alerts, you guys, wait for them to trigger. And I'm going to go, oh, we're dipping down here from class last night. Let's watch the reaction when this triggers. Starbucks had a good run. Look at that. Look at that. Couple things here. Get rid of this. Couple things to note here. Late August, early September. Nice trend line break. Reclaim a 92. So you see the first, we sold under it here. First reaction back was tough, and then rejection pre-market early on that day, and ultimately we got back over it. So you hear me say, you guys, don't chase, don't wait for the confirmation. And when I find these key levels I mark out to you guys, it's a level for a reason, because when we're over it, we trend nice. When we're over it, we trend nice. Now we're over it. And so Starbucks, I want to see this hold here. And so when I draw shaded areas, guys, it's kind of a quick little pocket zone of rejection or support. So we got this pocket here from, and again, now we're on a cheaper stock. This is going to look like a huge move, but this is 98.50. down to 97.84. So less than $1 range. Okay. So for me, a little bit of a consolidation here before the breakdown, push up here, ultimately came back down to it, and we push up. And so for me, early tomorrow or early this week, for me, I want to see 98 hold. So I would probably, I don't trade a ton. That's why there's not a ton of lines on here, but if I slap a line on 98, and then I bet if we go to larger time frames, maybe I'm wrong, maybe I'm right. Does 98 still hold? Let's see. Oh, I went back here in a while. All right, so we haven't been back to 98 zone since January of this year. And you know what I'm going to say? I say in all my lectures when I see this. If you buy shares here on January 3rd and you're red, we push up here. Look at that reaction there. That can be relief selling here. There's sellers waiting there, or people that, oh man, I'm finally out of my shares at break even. I was down whatever percent this is, and so we come back to big level, you guys. For me, Ninja, if you're still in here, for me, 98 is where I'm looking. That's where I want to be watching the reaction to. Back to the 1 hour chart here. So we trickle in. I'm buying the bounces or hopeful bounces off 98 every single time until it fails me. If you buy calls there and we sell down, accept the loss. Because guess what? You buy calls at 98, we sell through it. Guess what I'm going to do? I'm going to buy the breakdown retest on puts at 98, because now I know my stop is fairly small. For me, if we sell down here and I buy puts at 98, I'm stopping out at roughly 98.2. So I'm risking 20 cents. That's this level over here on Thursday. So for me, fairly easy trade. See how that lines up right there. So meaning, pretend this is Monday. And I take the puts here. If we break over this zone here, I know I'm probably wrong. So we're going to keep pushing. So breakdown retest, that's okay. That's low risk to take your puts there. Because again, first test there at 98, you want or you expect some price action like this, a little bit of a smack down underneath there. But again, you try and short it and they keep pushing, that's fine. Now, flip your bias, push up. Now try a breakout retest on calls and try and play the push up and play this price action here from last week, Thursday and Friday. So good suggestion, Ninja, on Starbucks. I like that one. But for me, I know you guys probably don't trade these a lot because you think they're boring, but Starbucks 98. I'm probably even going to set an alert. Right now it's above it, so I need to set this for below and wait for that to trigger. MU. Haven't traded that in a while. What's this one doing? Interesting. Let's check a little bit larger time frame. Ooh, nice little double bottom action going on. Very nice. Bounced where it should, meaning you expect buyers to be there, and they were. I'm just going to draw a support line here, figure out where we're at, because like I said, I don't do this, I trade this a whole lot. What is that? Roughly 86. Look at, so see you guys, a lesson in being like blindly bearish when you're late to the party, when you miss this multi-day sell down and now you get into puts here, or you miss this, now you get into puts, and then we bounce and you keep averaging your puts and you keep averaging your puts and you keep averaging, like, man, why do we bounce so hard there? Let's zoom left. Look at that reaction there, you guys. Don't be late to the party. When you miss a sell down like this, you buy bounces there. That's how you catch the multi-day move there. That's how you catch the multi-move there. And so for me, MU, I mean, I know it's past 86, but that's kind of my game plan. For the very, very low end zone, what would I be watching on that? Intraday, let's see what we got here. For me, what am I seeing here? I think I want to mark this. DeWald. So if you're still in here, 90.75-ish, 96, 90.7. Again, breakout and retest, you guys. Same thing. Good charts, you guys. So again, this jagged line is the daily 9 moving average. It is now underneath it, and the 20 is creeping up overhead. The 20 moving average, it's a long ways away. It's $5 away. Don't need to worry about it now. But if you're a swinger and looking for swings, this is what you want to see. You want to see them. You want to see us bottoming out where we should. Buyers are still here. That's a good thing. Okay. Or if you're a share buyer and you're an investor, you buy at 86. That's a good buy because you ride this wave up. You don't let it go to 100 or 110. You're like, oh, I want some shares. No, for me, I'm a bottom feeder. I'm buying where I think buyers should be, and they are. And you ride that wave up, and you scale out of your calls, or you scale out of your shares when other people are trying to time a breakout. So MU, tomorrow we can call it maybe just call it 91 for an easy round number. If you want to be more accurate, 90.7. We can see this reaction here. See if we get a zoomed in look here. Yeah, so up here on the 15-minute, same thing, same thesis. I'll lecture you guys. If we open above it, DeWald, try and get that retest. And you take that with confidence because, again, you are assuming or hoping that this pocket up here from last week holds because there's volume up here and you're expecting that to hold. You're expecting buyers because you're not the only person taking this shot here, on calls here. Calls off support. It sounds obvious, but maybe some people miss it. Calls off support, puts off resistance. Okay. So this is a support until it's not. It doesn't matter if you want it to go down underneath this. We can consolidate for 2, 3, 4, 5 days a week. It doesn't matter. It's whatever big money wants to do at this level here. Our job is to just follow big money. So for me, play the calls bounce, and my stop, I would do something like this. So let's just assume you get some calls right here tomorrow. You're risking a 50-cent drop. So it's kind of a big drop. So as far as option Greeks go, look at your delta. Your delta tells you how much in a $1 move you will make or lose. So let's just assume you take a 50-cent drop, 50 cents, that is. That's a 50% drop of $1. So 50% of your delta. Let's say the delta, let's say you bought these for, I'm making up a number to be easy. Let's say you bought these for $300, throwing out a number, that's probably way too expensive. And the delta is $1. Okay. You take a 50-cent move down or 50% loss on the stock. If your delta is 100 or $1, you're going to take a $50 loss. And so, plan that out in your trade, you guys. Figure out a stop that makes sense. To me, this zone here on the chart makes sense. But you also need to figure out what percent that is. Like I don't have the options contracts in front of me. You got to figure out what percent that is makes sense if you're okay with that. To me, if this support holds here and we trickle down here and you're down 28%, that's a good hold. That's an okay hold. You still have support holding and you're down 28%. Red is not fun, but I'm not going to cut here until like 90.3 fails, and then on the bearish side, we come down, we open under, or say we push up, hard rejection off Friday's highs. So now I'm looking under here, I'm going, okay. Now price alert triggers. Now what am I thinking? I'm looking for price action like this. I'm looking for rejection. So I'm going to play breakdown, retest. And then on the flip side, if your inputs, your stop loss again is small. You guys don't get into puts here and go, I'm going to hold to 92.50 where price action wasn't even last week. Like there's no reason to hold puts way up here. That's stupid trading. You hold puts on, previous day close, previous day high low, last week range high low, last week resistance, weekly resistance, big old level. Check off the boxes when you get into trade plan, you guys, and find levels. Like to me, this is a no-brainer on this zone here. Nice job. Bank of America, I like this one because of rate cuts. A little bit messy chart. Sorry, you guys, I've been trading a lot. Let's check the daily. Daily. If I remember right, it printed couple, maybe it was Citibank, couple dojis. That's not really doji. But we do have here, guys, on Bank of America, obviously financial sector, we have a rate cut coming. On the daily, it's not super sexy. Couple things to point out. This is the daily again down here. Lots of indecision. And I think, I think that makes sense. It could be big money waiting on to see what the Fed, how much they cut on Wednesday. Again, some indecision because this candle opened here, pushed up, rejected, came down, bounced, and closed here. Same thing. Opened here, pushed up, sellers were there, came down, buyers were here. And so Bank of America, who was that? Dalvin, I think is your name. For me, I got some decent levels here, 38.50, 39, 39.22, and 39.6665. So for me, the floor or the support is your 38.50. That's your support until it's not. Okay. And again, this is the daily 9 moving average, and the 20 is the green. So now they're overhead, you guys. So now they're resistance. So again, when I talk about trends, you buy bounces off of that when it's over it, and you buy the rejections when it's overhead. So now Bank of America, this purple line is going to do something like this Monday or Tuesday, and the blue is going to be kind of up here, something like this. And so for me, if we open around here, it's kind of a not a super fun spot, at least for swings, not a fun spot for me to catch a swing. I've been just day trading this, and you can even see the price action here at the top. It's not super great either. A lot of wicks, a lot of fake outs, but if you can catch your key zones. So remember I said up here on the daily, the 39. So right here, this is the 39, rejection last week. And so that's where I'm playing the reactions around 39 and 38.5 again. So if we open around here, I'm cautiously bullish. I'm cautiously a buyer. I want to see bounces here, but if not, so that's this level right here. Just so we can figure out where we're at. Let's make it purple, pink, whatever. So that's this level here that I'm talking about right here. So again, we start rejecting under it. That was a support for one recently. That they hit it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 days, and now that it's not support, now you got to start thinking, okay, are we bearish multi-day? We got the moving averages over us. So for me, 38.5 and 39, it's a 50-cent range, you guys. When you buy these contracts, they got to make sense. If you're buying off 38.50, don't be buying a 40 or 41 weekly call. You need to buy a 38.50 if it's available, or a 39, because if all you're getting is this 50-cent move and you're buying a call that's $3 out of money, you're gonna be like, well, this doesn't pay shit. Well, yeah, because you picked a bad strike. The strike price has to make sense, you guys. And the same thing on the downside. If we come down into here, we're rejecting 38.5, you're like, okay, 1K said that was a big support, now it's resistance, and you want to try and get this move down here. Again, a 50-cent move down on the stock, 50 cents, 38.5 to 38. Don't be buying a 36 strike put. Buy the 38.5, because guess what? If you guys know anything about Greeks, again, when you're at 38.5 and you sell through that and you're in puts, what are you? You're in the money. Same thing with SPY, same thing with Tesla. You buy a 220 call, oh, I'm in the money. SPY, 560 call, whatever it is, and you push up, oh, I'm in the money. That's the same thing here. So buy a 30.5 put, and you're instantly in the money for that nice 50-cent move down. And that's going to pay you pretty nice. Hopefully answers the question on Bank of America. Quickly go over Citibank. Same thing, you guys. A couple doji prints right here the last 2 days. So, typically doji is indecision. Doji candle down here. I'm looking down here on the daily. Push up, no breakout. Push down, no breakdown. Push up, same thing. So to me, it's indecision, waiting on the Fed is what I'm looking for in the financial sector. Could we see guys for SPY? Chen, did you want me to chart out PLTR, or are you just mentioning PLTR is included in S&P? I didn't trade it. I think it made a huge ass move though. You guys caught it, right? On the daily, oh yeah. So for me, is this all-time? I don't think it's all-time highs. It's beaten down, right? Oh, the app, where is it all? No, can't be all-time highs. weekly. Let's just slap a line to figure out where we're at. I mean, obviously, that's a nice weekly candle. You can see the weekly 9, how far we are. Don't have enough time. Oh, well, this was the growth stock, so it's back. Wow, hasn't been here since 2021. 2021. 35 zone. Let's call it 35. Easy chart for me. Like, look at that. Haven't been there in 3 years, you guys. Where do you think sellers are going to try and be parked? Tell you what, if we see a weak market, like overall market, weak market, and I see rejections here at 30, 35.50, where do you think that's going to trigger a sell? Right here at that huge old weekly level from 3 years ago. But until then, recent trend is still up. And you know what I'm going to say? If you're a bull, you want to see this trend hold and you want to see 35.50 hold. That's all that matters to me on this chart. 35.50, breakdown, retest, ride it. You got to go way back for some old levels. But again, if not, we get real bearish, a multi-day, trend break or whatever, like your profit targets are easy, or at least easier for me looking at it. You want to sell into that 35, 34 zone. You can see those consolidation zones around those round numbers there. All-time highs 45. So, all right, interesting. Yeah, I had to go way back. But again, catch the breakout. Awesome if you do. But we did this IPO not too long ago. Oh yeah, that's IPO. It had to have been. Yeah, because the stock offering is $10. Yeah, so he's right. So you get that big weekly here, January 25th week. So when we push up over this 35, you guys, you literally only have 1 week of information, 1 week of volume up here. Okay, same with SPY. When SPY makes 2 new all-time highs, people say, where do we go? Where do we go? We don't know where to go. You pretty much have to draw some fibs on your chart and you work with it. You just play the price action. You ride the trend. And so PLTR, January 25th, 2021 is the only information you guys have up here. And so ride the trend. If you catch a trend, you ride the 9 EMA trend, ride it up, keep trimming, because honestly, there's nothing up here. And so I hate to say it, but trim when you like profits, sell when you like profits, because there's not a whole lot up here. FS, or was that First Solar, whatever that used to be? I remember that back in the day. I used to flip shares on this, I think. Let's check a 4 hour, see where we're at. Oh, nice. Okay. Got something to work with here. Never traded before. These are kind of fun because I can start clean slate, no bias. For me, I'm slapping a line at 229.4, maybe 229. Because we can see reaction around there. Rejection, sell, selling pressure. Once you get under it, selling pressure. Once you're over it, big moves. Raj 229.6. If you want to quote Dirty River, the line in the sand, and look at that. So that's the beauty of charting, you guys, on larger time frames. I'm on the 4 hour. Never trade this, or recently that is. I slapped a line here at 229.6. Zoom left, and lo and behold, from June of this year, that chart or that spot still makes sense to me. And so, Raj, are you in this, or just kind of curious on how I would trade it? If you're in it, let me know in the chat. Definitely a line here I want to grab. Let's see. I like that. So for me this week, I think it's, I don't want to be cocky, but it's kind of an easy trade for me. So Raj, down here is the 4 hour, and up here is the 15 minutes. You can see how they kind of sync up. So for me, your first line of defense, if you're a bull or want to be a bull on it, a little bit of a weekday Friday, not much happening on Thursday, a little bit of consolidation, chop, whatever you want to call it. So for me, the first line of defense tomorrow, early in the week, I want to see 229.6 hold. And say we open here, you catch the bounce, and to me it's easy. Look left. Your price targets are 234. This little pocket here of consolidation here. Because also it's going to line up with Thursday price action too. So if you catch a bounce here at 229, you catch a $4 move on the day, I'm for sure, trimming along the way, and I'm out at 234 for a day trade for sure. Because you got to expect when we come back into this zone here, again, we talk about breakdown, retest, breakdown. If we retest this level, you got to expect sellers are parked here because it's this zone here. On the other side, if we open down here, look for those 230 rejections zone here, which is also Friday close. And then your next support, big support, I guess, you can play levels in here. But for me, I look for small risk, big reward. And so I'm looking a final price target, again, final. And these are just for day trades, not swings, down to that 225 zone. But again, that's just a final price target. If I catch puts here at this top 229, I'm for sure selling into this reaction zone here. I'm not going to grab 10 calls, let it be very nice money, bounce, and stop me out of break even. That's just foolish. So I'm trimming all the way down. Final profit or price target be that 225 zone, because you can see on the 4-hour down here, that reaction when we get there. So, you don't want to catch the whole move down and make an excuse, I got called in a meeting or whatever it is, or I didn't sell because I'm greedy. And then you get a big bounce up and you give back 50, 60% of your gains. Like, that's foolish trading. So to me, it's, if we're under here, you short there, you take your puts down to your support. Or if we're over this, you take your calls because this is now support until it's not. And we come down into here because now we got these moving averages curling underneath. And so that tells you, these are going to curl underneath. And again, you guys, I guess on the daily, for it's easier to see. So see how I talk about catching those long swings. See how these moving averages are underneath, like down here, they're underneath, they curl underneath, and you get these big multi-day pushes up. That's what you want as a swing trader. Or when they're overhead, that's how you catch those long swings on puts, on bearish swings. When we break the moving averages, we break these big zones here. That's how you catch those swings. You don't just take puts because you feel like it, because you think it's up too much. You catch the trend when you see it. And so on this one, we have some very nice consolidation here. I mean, I know this is going to be a big range, but just to point out, very nice consolidation from June until now. So 3 months of support. And now, again, my moving averages are underneath. So these start curling under, we consolidate, and we start holding 225. That's where, if you buy calls off here, say you bottom tick some calls. That's where you buy those October, November calls, and you ride, hypothetically, you ride that trend up, 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 up. You trim, you ride that all the way up. That's how you catch those multi-day moves. All right, I think that's everything that was in the request. 15 minutes left. You guys can leave whenever you want, but I got a couple I want to go over. Big tech, Netflix, big ass breakout day. I wish I would have seen this. Holy cow. Netflix, I'm on the daily down here. I'm on the daily. We got a one-line chart at basically 677. I wish I would have seen this on Friday. Obviously, it's in hindsight, but still, hang with me here. A one-line chart. Support, the daily 9 curled under. So the daily 9 curled under. And look at that move right here on the 15-minute, guys. Look at that move and reaction all day. So you trade the open, you see a little bit of red on, I know my candlesticks are white and blue, but you see some red, and you buy puts, you're like, oh man, that bounced so hard. Why'd that bounce? You have a huge support here, 677, and your moving averages are right underneath it. Again, where do you think there's going to be buyers? Where do you think big money is buying at the moving averages? Okay. Where do you think big money is, rejecting or shorting at when the moving averages are overhead? This moving average is underneath and bounced perfectly almost to the penny on that support. Huge day. So my point is on Netflix, I missed it, obviously in hindsight. Didn't want to draw too many lines on here because I would talk over with you guys, but I'm going to look here at basically 700. Obviously, the obvious answer is a round number. It's an even number. Where to reject, why reject. So if we ignore this here on the daily and just look at this breakout candle here, and you're I don't say dumb, you're not a smart trader, and you try and chase that breakout, what are you doing here? For one, you're chasing the momentum. For two, you're chasing people's sells. And three, you're buying at a round number. 500, 600, 525, 526. That's what I mean by round number. 100, 105. Not 105.27. 105 is a round number. 700. It rejected like, damn near to the penny probably, whatever that high day was. And so it rejected this top range here, you guys. And so I am not bearish, but I'm not a call buyer until we get a dip. If we get a dip tomorrow, somewhere in this range. I don't know where it's going to happen. It's a big range, like shit. Netflix put in a $20 move. That's crazy. Man, you bottom tick calls here and you ride that up $20. That is a huge payday. All right. We close right at the top of the range. Okay. So it's easy. Play the breakout of 700, more than a 1 minute candle. Look for a 15, a 30-minute candle off 700. Then you can take calls. Yes, it's risky because look at these reactions. Look at these sellers here at 700. That's no joke. Huge wick here. Big rejection, big rejection, big rejection. Okay. So I'm cautiously bullish over 700, but it can go. But at the same time, if you take calls here and we sell under, don't hold forever. Don't keep averaging. Take the loss on those calls. And now you have to start thinking, okay, we rejected 700. Buyers gave up 700. Markets are looking kind of sideways, a little bit weak. That's where you take your shot and puts, you guys, because look at that big daily candle there. Daily candle, daily rejection, rejection, rejection. We know where it could or should reject on Netflix. Wanted to point that one out to you guys. Dalvin, yeah, I'll go back to win for you. This lecture is for you guys, not me, so I'll chart whatever you guys want. Win. Ooh. Again, what was the name we were talking about? What were we on earlier? I already lost track. When I was talking about the breakout, same thing, you guys. Remember that consolidation I was talking about for a couple months on that other ticker, which I already forgot? Look at that breakout candle. That's what you want to try. So, Dalvin, if you're looking at this for hopefully for calls, or at least for calls for a swing, but a day trade could go either way. But again, big consolidation zone here. For me, when I see something new, I'm always looking for wicks because those are big reaction zones here. Kind of a weird number, 77.64, maybe 78. What could I draw it up to? Let's just say 78. Got a big reaction there. So for me, 78 tomorrow. Again, like I always say, I sound like I'm on repeat. Because resistance, 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 never made it, but assume resistance, resistance, resistance. Look at big breakout. So that is resistance, and that is sellers giving up and buyers taking over. Okay, so now we'll just call it 78. What was resistance is or should now be support. Okay, because there were sellers and volume here, but now we're on the top side. So you have to assume or hope there's buyers waiting there at 78. Okay, and again, pretty damn easy chart for a day trade. Stop out if we break below the shaded area. 1K, why did you draw that shaded area like this? That's a little pocket of support here, a little bit of support here. I know if we break under, a 20-cent move down, I'll give up 20 cents on some calls because it's probably going to keep going more. It's probably going to give way more underneath that. And so 78, fairly easy. Very, very nice down here on the daily. Very, very nice breakout candle. So hopefully you didn't buy the top at 79.3. But now these moving averages are going to start catching up. And hopefully we consolidate around here. Consolidate moving averages. That's where you take, again, we're trading at 79, hopefully, or 78, hopefully by the 79 call with time. And that's where you catch those big multi-day swings. But very nice setup for day trade possible, definitely. Oxy and PayPal I want to touch. We're running short on time. Same thing, you guys. Oxy is a energy related sector. Big weekly zone here at 50. Again, if you catch this bear flag breakdown, we're on the daily. Move this if I can quickly. So you see a little channel or a flag, whatever you want to call it. And you see a breakdown like this, and you don't see it for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8 or 9 days later. And now you want to take puts down here. I'm on the daily down here. Now you want to take puts at a weekly support. We bounce super hard and you get wrecked. You're like, oh, why do we bounce so hard? Again, 50, round number, psychological number. Big weekly support, big old daily support. Of course, I can't quite go back far enough. But again, the daily 9 and the 20s overhead. But now I would point this out for day trades and swings. I don't think it's ready for a swing long at all because it's one of the moving averages, but something to watch here. So 51.39, 51.40-ish. A zoomed in look is up here. We can see this reaction here. And so for me, tomorrow I'm watching this because I think this could be a nice tradable setup. Initially, I have no bias. It can go either way, but 51.40, I want to see hold and push up. But again, that would be this isn't the high from last week, but it's this top range area from last week. And so if I catch this at 51.40, I'm not holding looking for 53. I'm taking profit here. I'm taking profit here and here. And so, and same thing on the flip side, come down. We show weakness here at 59.40. Overall market's weak. Energy sector's weak. We see this reaction here. The last 2 daily candles rejection down here. That's where I'm taking puts with confidence because I expect or assume a daily candle rejection here, like this daily here. Rejection, if I'm lucky, yeah, you catch a whole move down, you catch a $1.40 move down to 50 again. But again, I'm not going to miss this move and buy puts down here at 50 when I see this big reaction here from last week and the big old reaction. So Oxy's one to watch. PayPal, I think Tilio noted some flow I need to check on his newsletter. I don't know if it's bullish or bearish, but PayPal on the daily, you guys, is something's brewing. Whether it breaks down or breaks out, we shall see. We got a bit of I think, so the trend here on the top, on the top here, the trend line makes sense, but on the daily, kind of a little bit wonky. But trend line breakout attempt, in a smackdown, where do we reject? Why do we reject here again? The daily 9 is overhead, you guys. I cannot be bullish right here until we break out over that. So I'm looking and watching reactions here on PayPal. We start seeing rejections on this trend line and this 9 holds. I'll take puts. I'll take the 70 puts. I'll take them to 69.64. But again, 69.64 is a big zone. If I catch that whole move down on puts, I'm for sure selling down here. I don't care what the percent is. The chart tells me to sell here. Okay. Or if we open here, pre-market, trickle in here, I'm going to try the calls bounce here because I'm expecting a reaction similar to that from Thursday. A bounce up and a push up to the trend line and the daily moving averages. But PayPal has, kind of something brewing. The daily's not super sexy, but I see these big buyers down here, these big long wicks down here. Big zones down there. SMMT. Never heard of it, but I'll chart it. Summit Therapeutics. Bio. What the hell is this? What is this move in 5 days? Nope, I didn't want to do that. But, well, if it's all-time highs, I can't really chart super well, but iPhone, I don't know, man. 155 cent or 55% move in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 days. I don't know. I don't know what to tell you. Good job if you caught it. I mean, look at that. How do we chart that? I mean, okay, I don't want to be rude. 32 is the level. bounce and retest, I guess, for more continuation or rejection and some profit taking down there. But when something just makes, 150% move in a week, I don't have any thesis on it. I'm sorry. Cool chart though. Hopefully somebody's in at $5. That's nice. Oxy, PayPal, XLE, XLE on the daily down here. Trend line overhead, trend line still holding. Oh, sorry, this is the weekly, my bad. XLE on the daily. Trend line overhead still holds. Previous push up on, was a trend. Tried to hold the moving averages. Ignore some of my entry arrows there, guys. I have to delete those. But now the trend from August is broken. Big trend down. Again, big daily and weekly level has been reclaimed. And so again, I'm not a put buyer at 84.4. I do see the 200 overhead, the 20 overhead, the 9 overhead. I get that, but I'm not taking puts off this zone here. So you can see how this syncs up. You can see, no doubt, big sell under, but guess what? At the end of the day, I guess you could say the bulls won or the buyers won because they reclaimed it. So, small little trend here. You got the hourly 20 and you got the 9 overhead. Just something to take note of here. I'm watching. I'm not taking an entry on this yet, but I want to see, do we see kind of some, push up, reject the 9? Are we kind of going to start consolidation down in here and let these moving averages kind of come down here and then curl under? And we break out over, and I'm going to play the breakout of the 9 in a retest. Hopefully, that's kind of my plan on this one. But this one has to play out a little bit. Like I said, it's not going to be a right away thing. I just want to point that out on energy sector. XLF, same thing. We're at 6 o'clock, guys, or 6 o'clock my time. If you guys have to leave, that's fine. CCL, this one hurt. I was talking about it, I think, on Wednesday. It's primed for a breakout. I didn't act on my comments in a huge 2-day move. Now we're back up to the 17.3 level, this big level here. So for me, I got to wait and watch. But CCL, NCLH, travel sector, Delta Airlines, travel sector, airlines, a name to watch. They've been pretty strong. But CCL, if you want to be a shareholder, if you want to swing on some calls, we need a breakout, we need a retest, and we need these moving averages to catch up and curl under, and something like this. And then I'm catching hopefully some call swings to catch this move here. But I'm not blind bearish here unless I see some push up, big smack down, push up, smack down. Then I'll get some puts up here at 17.3. But for now, I'm just watching it. But also, I'm very aware of what happens at 17.3. Over it, big bounces, big reactions. Under it, huge selling pressure, along with the market, obviously. And so CCL, that's kind of where I'm at on that. Something to watch. But that's 1 hour, guys. I think I'll end it here. I appreciate it, you guys. Again, SPYs and QQQ. One last quick overview before I close the chat. 475.56, if you can only have one line on your chart tomorrow, 475.56 on QQQ is the level to watch. You can see the reaction here. Call it a pivot, call it what you want. When we're over, we move hard. When we're under, we see selling pressure, typically with the market. And so QQQ, that's my daily down here. That's my 15 on top. And last but not least, SPY. Let me get a couple less lines here. 0.6 away from all-time highs. If we ride the trend, just ride it, don't fight it. Or if we start trending tomorrow, don't fight it, you guys. Just ride that trend. But again, be aware of where we're at. Don't miss the move again. If you miss my spiel to begin the lecture, don't miss a $3 move and then trying to dive into calls here at all-time highs. Because where do you think people are going to short? Where do you think everyone's going to short at all-time highs? Okay, yeah, we could blast through it, but don't be late to the party. And if we get weak, and it's big selling pressure, just ride the wave, ride the puts down. Yes, the trend is up, but we could have a very weak day. Monday and Tuesday, who knows? Or the whole week, who knows? But just ride the wave, you guys. Don't fight the trend. Well, with that, you guys, I'm going to end the lecture. Again, this is recorded. Joe should post it tomorrow. If not, hopefully the next day for you guys to catch it. But thank you all for attending. My DMs are always open. If you guys have questions, don't be shy, just ask questions. But appreciate y'all for coming here, guys. Send me some charts, send me some ideas. After hours chat, charting channels chat, or DMs. I'm always interested to see what you guys are looking at. But let's have a great week, you guys. Let's trade smart.